Hi, my name is Zach Love, and I am the director for The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime here at Playhouse 22. The play itself is pretty recent. In fact, many people probably recognize it as a book that was pretty popular back in the early 2000s. And then around 2015, it was over in the West End, over in London, which is where the play itself is set. Our play follows Christopher Boone, who's a 15-year-old living in Swindon, which is in London, or London adjacent, rather. He comes upon his neighbor's dog, the dog Wellington, dead, stuck with a pitchfork in his side. And it sets him on this mystery detective adventure to try and figure out who it was that killed Wellington. And along the way, finds out some secrets that actually have way more to do with him than they do with anything happening in the town related to Wellington. And Christopher himself is what many people probably would refer to as, quote, special. And while they may perceive him as special, he is just about as normal as everybody else, and he just happens to see the world a lot differently than we do. We've got some comedy, we've got a lot of unfortunate tragedy and a lot of drama, but if I had to locate one thing to say about it above everything else is that hopefully it's a story of hope, and it's a story of people looking, seeking, and eventually learning to understand those who are different than us. And because of that, we've got to have a little bit of everything in order to connect with anyone who might be watching the show. Rehearsals, we started back in November. They were astounding from our first read-through pretty much through to the end of December. We spent blocking the show, and before the holidays even occurred, we were fully blocked, fully staged, and ready to go. It's a difficult show to even think about taking on in the first place, and having 10 actors who are just willing and ready to do absolutely anything and have a great time doing it has been a treat that I think most directors would bid a lot of money for, and I feel like I hit the jackpot.
The area of a square. We need to multiply the length times the width.
Something that I think is really important for people to understand when they come to see this show is that, like I said before, this is a story about a character and a person who, way back in the early 2000s, late 90s, we were seeing maybe people that we didn't know kind of in these like very small pockets of the world. And now in 2023, these people and these individuals who we sought to understand so many years ago are just everywhere. We all have these little intricate neurodivergencies to ourselves that even if we don't talk about them every single day, they're a part of who we are, and they're a part of how we go throughout our lives. To see this story about someone who is so distinctly neurodivergent, not only does he interact with people, but the way he changes their lives, because the character of Christopher being the catalyst of this whole story along with Wellington, just because someone is different than you doesn't mean that their story and the impact that they have on you is not nearly as important as someone who seems quote-unquote normal. If you're in the East Brunswick area for the next 3 weekends from February 10th through February 26th, please come to Playhouse 22 to see our production of The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, and come have your perspective changed.